Hi
Hi
guys!
guys, hello.
Hello!
We're back again.
Yeah.
Here.
Hello once again. We are live Friday afternoon, 5 p.m. exactly here in Dubai. We are live at the Otaku ME main store. If you haven't been here yet, we're located at Sunrise Building near Al Safa 2. Nearest landmark will be the Nuremberg metro station. We're 5 minutes walk away from the metro station.
Let us know if you guys can hear us.
Yes, if you can hear us, if there's any connection issues, network issues, let us know. Technical difficulties so we can fix everything before we go ahead and start the workshop. And yes, we have our another workshop here with Mickey, as always, and me, Paolo, will be it kind of like a continuation of the clean build,
yes.
workshop that Mickey did last week.
Mhm.
But now we'll be focusing more on seamline removal and decal application. So these two topics that we'll be tackling today doesn't only apply to gunpla but to scale models as well. Whatever you're building that is a plastic model,
It's
you can
basically
apply.
an essential, yes.
Yes, it's very essential, especially for scale models. You want to remove all those seam lines. So this will help you not only for gunpla but for other kits as well. So we're just building up our viewers, and if you guys have any comments, let us know. If there's any technical difficulties on your end, let us know so we can have that fixed before we go ahead and proceed with our workshop. And if you guys just want to say hi, please say hi. Mr. Takashi Segawa, hi sir.
Hi,
How
sir.
are you?
Hello.
Shelly is watching. Hi Shelly, we miss you Shelly. Ali,
What up?
Ali's watching. Mr. Khaled Fahed, how are you sir? Mr. Rodrigo Santos, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday afternoon. If you guys don't know, Mr. Takashi Sagawa was the judge last January for our Modelers Cup, Otaku ME Modelers Cup. He judged the scale model competition. So it is a great honor for us to have you watching us, sir. And do follow his page as well, Segawa Modeling.
He does a lot of the diorama model.
Diorama, he loves his diorama. He does scale models, he does gunpla as well. And we do have some of his kits here on our shop. So if you want to see it, please drop by the shop and have a look.
We also have his Segawa modeling diorama kits.
Exactly. One of these days we'll be talking about and teaching you guys how to use this. It's a kit. It's an like a all-in-one kit that helps you build your diorama. So everything that you need is already provided. The instructions, and you'll just have to build them.
How to apply them is in there as well.
Is in there, exactly. It's an amazing product. So we're very excited with that. Ali's saying, "Hey guys, excited to pick up some notes here." Yes. Take down notes, and better yet, build with us. If you have your kit and your tools ready, build along with us. So experience is always the best teacher. You'll learn better if you're actually doing it yourself. Enlist Dominguez is watching. Hi, Enlist. That's a weird name.
Enlist.
Just kidding. No, I know the guy, so don't worry.
He's enlisted into somewhere, maybe.
Where? You're enlisting to where? Anyway, guys, again, welcome to our workshop. It's a Friday afternoon. We'll be discussing seamline removal and decal application. It's a bit of a continuation or a part 2 of last week's workshop regarding clean build.
It's still part of the basic. Still.
Yes.
Still basic.
We're starting out with the basics, and then we'll get to more advanced stages in customizing your Gundam. Please share the live stream if you have any groups regarding the hobby or hobby in general or about Gunpla specifically. You have friends, and in your page as well. Please share it so more people can join us today. And if you have any suggestions, any questions, or you just want to say hi, please let us know. Hit us up on the comments. And well, right now we have our 13 viewers. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We do have a YouTube channel. It's Otaku Middle East. Every workshop that we do here, every tutorial, we upload it to our YouTube channel.
Posted that, yes.
So if you miss anything, if you've seen this and you wanna go back to it and like try to remember some of the stuff that we mentioned or we talked about,
it's all in there.
It's all in there. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mr. Niadis, he says, "Hey guys, it's good to finally put a face to the voices." Yes, I hope you guys are not tired of our faces yet. You see us
You will see us all the
every
time.
weekend. Yeah. So but we'll be talking about a lot of interesting things. So hope you guys are always support us. Muhammad Ali, notice you guys have the classic HGUC GM there. Yes.
This will be our guinea pig.
You can never go wrong with the GM.
Yep.
I would say this, it's just an observation. The GM sometimes is kind of underrated, but it's one of the most solid designs.
Yes, exactly.
And a lot of people that customize their Gundam, they start, or even not even start, those that are already advanced.
Yeah, basically
level.
GM is like a blank canvas for modelers.
Yeah.
They use it a lot in many customization. They actually sometimes they take parts from the main mobile suits and then put it on the GM to make it better.
Exactly.
So it's something that
it's a perfect place to start with. Yeah. Okay.
GM here.
So guys. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and couple of things that we need to remind you. In a couple of weeks, hopefully by the end of September, we'll be launching our new website. And with the new website comes a lot of additional things that we're very excited about. So we'll have loyalty points, we'll have collector card, we'll have models gallery, a faster website, definitely a faster website. And the interface is more interactive, it's more user friendly. And together with the launch of the new website we are going to open our shipping lines worldwide. Hi, Sir James. Sir James is resting right now, but next week he'll be back with me, and we'll be tackling some more things. So we'll be opening our international shipping together with the launch of the new website. So we're just waiting for it. Hopefully by the end of September, we'll have it.
As long as the Aramex can reach you.
Yes,
ship it.
As long as Aramex can get to where you are, we'll be able to deliver your Gunpla or your scale model. There's a lot of things. You can visit our website otakume.com and then check out what we have. So Mickey, so today it's a bit of a continuation of what we discussed last time, but this time we'll be focusing on seamline removal and decal application.
Yes, like I said, it is also part of the basics of modeling. So if you just want to build and do something better for your kids, this is also something that you can use. So seamline removal is what you call this, essential.
So, and I noticed not like for some modelers, especially some of the new ones, they're not really aware that it's a thing.
It's something that some builders does not notice if it's part of the kit
or not,
or supposed to be removed like that. Seamline is something like that.
Because you guys have to remember, once you snap fit those parts, that line,
There will be lines. Yes.
that line will be there, but it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But it will be there because it's two different parts snapped together. So if you want to create like a realistic or like a really clean looking build, then you can remove that seam line because it's not supposed to be there. That's the thing. So you're just trying to make it more realistic.
So yeah, I can show you guys what's a seam line is. So if you guys can see that line, this line, that's a seam line. That's where two parts are connected, like they snap together. So that topic today will be removing this. Because if you guys can see, that's not like, if you have a leg, do you want your leg to have a line like that? There's no mechanical thing.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, you want something that
it's
has
not
a line
supposed
like
to be
that.
there.
Even at the back, here, it's more visible. That's a connection part. Along the way to the entire leg.
Can you show them the other leg?
Yep,
so we'll do a visual comparison.
So on this side, it's not seam lined yet. It's not removed.
I mean, it's not removed yet.
Yeah. And this side, we remove the seam line. You see, there's no more lines here. And there
makes a whole lot of difference.
There's a difference. So it's up to you. Do you want your legs to have line or not? But it is part of the basics.
And when you're trying to join competitions, that's a big one of the big part that the judges looks at, if you have seam lines or not.
Yes,
especially in clean builds, you're not supposed to have any seam lines. So
it shows that you've learned the basics of progressive sanding. And proper way of like building your basic basically.
And even more important is seam line removal in scale models.
Yes,
especially
on aircrafts. Yeah,
aircraft. Imagine most of the aircraft, you put them together this way.
They're
so
like
two sides, you combine them. So there's always going to be a line in the middle. So it's your job to remove that line so it's not visible, because real aircraft doesn't have that line. So this is very important. Nathaniel Barrera, hi sir.
Hi sir.
Master. GM rules. Yes, we agree. GM rules. And Sir James also GM. Mortal sin. It's a mortal sin not to seal seam lines before painting. Exactly.
Yes.
Especially if you're gonna go ahead and start
if you wanna
painting
paint,
your kids.
yeah, it's something that is very important to do. Seam line removal.
Once you put on the primer, that seam line will just pop out.
It will still be there. You will see it, and then you will see your parts separating like that.
And a observation from Mr. Nathaniel Barrera. I think the hardest part to clean up seam lines is the head part.
Oh yeah, but this part. Oh yes, because it has like very small
surfaces. I guess.
Sand,
yes. Yeah.
As you can see, there's an entire seam line.
Who won the second modeler's cup?
Yeah, Mr. Nathaniel Barrera, I think won
all of
3 times in the.
Yeah, actually, Sir Nat is the one. He usually use GM.
Yeah, he
as
loves
his
his
canvas,
GM.
yeah.
He won the Gunpla, which open category.
Open category.
3 times in a row, I think. I think all of the Modelers Cup, he
won. Yes.
He won. So he's already banned for the Just kidding, sir. We haven't decided yet.
In any kind of scale he can do, as long as he put his heart on it.
Okay, so yeah, we've shown you a comparison of what it looks like if you remove the seam line and you keep it on. Before you show them how to do that, what's the recommended tools? I think it's very important.
So of course we need the seam line to be sealed, right? So you will be needing plastic cement. It's not only the Tamiya, you can also use the Mr. Hobby. So they are basically the same, they work the same. And yeah, so these two, what they do is they melt the plastic. For those who don't know, they melt the plastic, and once they dry, they bind them together and form them as one.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's
So
the
just to differentiate it from your typical super glue
super glue.
or cryoacrylate glue, it's they don't just stick the parts together. They melt the parts and bind them together. So by melting the parts, it's easier to actually remove the line.
Yeah, exactly. You will not see any lines if you melt them and then sand them down.
But you have to melt them
Yep.
the
And
right way.
The right way.
Yes.
And also, of course, not only the cement, we will be needing some sandpapers. I'll be using sanding sponge because I'm more comfortable.
You're
with
more
them.
comfortable.
Yes.
Guys, you can use sandpaper if you're more comfortable using sandpaper, but Mickey's
Also,
more
yeah,
comfortable in the sponge.
We can go with the sanding papers as well because we'll be doing not only sanding, we'll do wet sanding.
Wet sanding.
Yes.
I'm excited.
It's
Mickey
something
will be
that
showing
you
us how
guys
to do
can,
wet sanding.
It's also like it helps the parts to be more smoother, unlike the direct sanding because you
Where
see some
Scratches.
dust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last week, if you watched our workshop last week, Miki showed us like progressive sanding, and the results is amazing. It's like putting a top coat on without using any top coat. So, but you just have to be patient and put more time, more effort to it, and you'll reach like a very nice finish. So I think we can start. We've showed them like what are the tools, some of the tools that's needed. Let's do some practical.
Let's start with
practical
the
drills here for.
Alright, so first I have to separate them. Okay, so this part, this one is the one that we've seamlined. So try to remember what it looks like. And then this, I'll separate them. This is the one that we will be removing the seam line, so I'll have to separate them. So in separating them, you cannot do this because you might break the plastic, but there are tools like this. It's
the part separator.
We have it as well in our basic toolkit, so that's also essential.
Yes.
So let's separate them. Okay, let me remove this one. Yeah, okay. And then separate. See here, it's easier to separate them with this proper tool. Yep, there we go.
Imagine if you don't have a separator.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna use your knife next.
Knife
Problem
or
with the
your
knife?
nails.
Or your nails.
Yeah.
Your nails, it hurts if you use your nails. And with a knife, there's a tendency that you might get cut, or even the part or the plastic gets damaged.
Yeah.
So and
might
it
slice
snaps
it.
off. The knives are very thin; they can just snap off.
So yeah, that's the two-piece.
See,
As
wow,
you can see the different
amazing.
parts.
I'm gonna get the part separator now.
Easier now, right? So before we start with the like applying the cements here, make sure that all the necessary parts that you need to put in here, like for example this polycap, needs to be in here while you're doing the
Yes. Because remember guys, applying the cement binds the plastic together. So it's most likely it's a one-shot thing. Once you've sealed it, it's sealed.
There's no going back.
There's you can't go back. You're practically gonna destroy the part or the plastic if you wanna separate it again. So you have to make sure everything that has to be there needs to be there.
There are ways that, say for example, in Sir James' last workshop, wherein he showed the C cuts.
Yes.
He sealed the shoulder of his Zaku, and then he did something on the joint for it to be reassembled again. Yeah.
Yes.
So there are other ways.
There are ways, but
in the basics, you don't have to like do that, of course.
Yeah, there are ways, especially if you meant to do that, then please by all means. But if you're not really sure how to do that properly, you're just gonna end up like breaking or destroying the kit. So
let's as usual when you're building, you have to like test fit them and see how much they are like connected. So as you can see here, it has like a very long peg here. So what I do usually is I cut the peg. You don't have to do this if you can squeeze the parts like easier for you, if it's easier for you. But what I do is I cut them. I trim them since this will be like useless now. It will only be my guide.
Yeah, now it's just a guide because
yeah.
you're gonna be sealing it using cement. So
I'll just cut them off in diagonal way, so it's not like totally cut off.
yes.
So just cut them in diagonally. So it will be easier for you to like attach it and then remove it. Even if you like close it, say for example, like that, it can be easily removed again. We won't be needing this. So yeah, so if
Amazing tips from Mickey.
it's usually done in what you call this, painting preparation.
Yes.
If you're going to paint, you'll have to do this because you have to like separate some parts as well again, and that's the like.
And one thing that we're very like, if you've already been here or maybe not, and then you've asked about painting, we always tell you that painting it's not just about painting. The preparation has to be done before the actual painting, and the preparation includes cleaning the kit, removing all the mold lines, sealing the seam lines, because you want like a clean kit to be painted on, not something with like holes or scratches.
Yeah, you don't just spray paint on your kit.
So
because everything will be shown again if you don't do the proper.
If you're gonna do it the proper way. That's one of the things that we say here.
Still, you can practice.
Yeah,
keep practicing.
And if you make a mistake, we all make mistakes, especially for starting. So it's part of it. Okay.
So let's start applying the cements. So you can either use this or this. Okay. Can I have some tissue, please?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Eli.
Mr. Eliezer.
Kind of spilled the cement there. Alright, so so in applying this, it has a brush usually. So you see here, that's the brush. So you just take.
And what we're using right now is the thin, extra thin.
Yeah, it's this one. Alright. Careful. So before you apply, check every lines that you have to like apply it to. So see where you wanna apply and avoid putting cement on this, because if you cement this, it won't be able to
the
move.
joint won't be able to move.
Yeah, it won't move anymore. So be careful on that.
And not just there. Actually, be careful not to put any cement where you're not supposed to put any cement. Remember, it melts plastic, guys.
On the surface.
So it will destroy the surface. It will destroy the details if it runs on through the details. So just make sure to put it on where you're supposed to, where the parts attach, or where you're supposed to bind them or seal them.
So what I do here is that I gradually like assemble them a bit, where they connect to each other, but not close.
Not fully, yeah.
Not fully close. So what I'll do is, of course, this is liquid. Gravity will affect
it. Yeah.
So you don't apply the
Too
liquid
much.
here directly, like going down. It will go directly down. So you have to use the gravity against it and then apply it diagonally, so that the liquid will not go down on the
cutting mat
cutting mat or something
floor.
else. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll just apply inside. I'll apply here. Okay. I'm applying.
And so if you guys can see, he's applying it on the inside
inside.
of the parts that's gonna be attached together, not on the outside.
Let's flip, and then
And there are different kinds of plastic cement. Like for example, for the Tamiya range, we have the original one. We have the extra thin, and then we have the extra thin quick setting. So depends on the parts that you're gonna use it.
all right. So after we applied the enough amount of decals, cement, you just close it and then squeeze it.
Squeeze. Very important. You need to squeeze.
Squeeze. Hold it tight.
Those melted parts
You can see here.
are actually oozing out.
Yeah,
That's what you need.
you need something like, for example, these parts that would ooze out. Yeah, you can see. Okay.
That is the part that will actually bond together or seal.
Yeah, here.
The
It
seam
showed a
line.
lot here. That's the oozed out part. You have to squeeze.
Ooze.
If you guys are tired of holding it, there is something like this.
I like the way you said it. If you guys are tired of holding it,
I
it's
am
there.
tired of holding it.
There's a tool for that.
There's a tool for that. So this is called pin vise. So you just put it there, and then
Show them how you lock it in place first. It's a suction
it's
underneath.
a suction thing. But this one does not work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore.
It's not really necessary to suck,
Yeah.
like to
Lock it in
lock
place.
it in,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
if you can,
If you can,
it
yeah.
helps.
But what I'll do is I'll just put it there. Not so tight because it might deform the plastic.
Yes, it might break the plastic.
Mhm.
Just enough to like give it a little squeeze for
For
the plastic to ooze out.
hold together as well.
The
Yeah.
quick setting usually dries for how long?
Pretty quick. The quick setting dries in like a second,
5
a second or
seconds,
two.
Yeah.
The extra thin maybe 7 to 10 seconds, and the original one, the white one, takes a little bit more time. So yeah, I do have like all three with me because it depends on like what kind of part I'm dealing with, and then I use a different like kind of cement. So there is very different. So you can try like all of them out and see like what works for you. Yeah. So right now we're just waiting for
it to set and dry a bit.
dry to
But of course, we will be comparing them to this later on. So if you can see, there's still line in there, and the surface is a bit wet. So it will look like this later on after we sand it.
So yeah, make sure that it's not yet wet once you start sanding.
Yes, you have to let
Because
it
that will spread out like the melted part, right? That will create a lot of scratches. Guys, if you have any questions, if you need clarification of anything that we've discussed so far, let us know. Hit us up on the comments.
Just let it.
We'd
sit.
love if you guys can engage with us here.
Yeah, maybe a few more minutes and we'll let it dry.
And please share.
If you guys
our
have
live
any
stream.
question on
Yeah.
what I did, you can ask again. We have another part
Share
that
live
we can
stream.
do it again. Yes. Let's.
So right now we have cement with Mr. Hobby and Tamiya.
Tamiya,
We also have with ammo, but I think we run out of stock of our ammo,
ammo, yeah.
and cement. And yeah,
Let's separate this as well. Yeah. See, I'm trying to separate them, but they are not going with my hand. So this tool will also help you separate them. But be careful as well because this is a bit sharp. This area because that's a thin,
it has to be very thin.
Yeah. So
But
once
it's
it's
not
in-
as sharp as a knife, so
Yes.
yeah, it's less accident with that one.
I actually got cut with this before.
Ali has a question. Is it necessary to add more cement on the surface after the two halves are joined?
Depends
It
on
really depends, right?
yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on your how much you have oozed it out.
Yeah, it
Basically.
depends on the result.
The result,
Actually,
yes, maybe.
once you've already squeezed it and it oozes out, from there you can. Once you start sanding, you can gauge it,
Mhm.
like if you put enough or not. If not, then maybe you can add a little bit more,
More, a
just
bit
to
more,
melt
yes.
that part where the seam line is. But yeah, it depends. Thank you for the question, Ali.
Mhm.
Guys, if you have any more question,
Let us know.
let us know.
We'll just wait for the.
Hope you guys are
area.
building your kit as well with us, and hope that you're trying to do some seam line removal as well.
So I'll redo the process again for those who didn't see earlier. So we have a peg here.
Mhm.
Separate these two. We have a peg here, a very long peg. So what I'll do is I'll just trim it off diagonally. Not too long, not too short. Just enough for us to insert it without having trouble, you know. So we can easily like disassemble it again. Let's see. Okay, need more cut, a bit more.
By the way, tomorrow, Saturday,
Mhm.
will be part of the Ripe Market in
Oh, yeah.
Times Square Center. So if you don't know, at Times Square Center, every weekend they do have a schedule for it, but
Mhm.
mostly on weekends they have like a
Every
Ripe
Saturday,
Market.
yes.
It's like a bazaar
Mm-hmm.
where you can find a lot of things that you
Different
don't
things.
usually
Yeah.
see anywhere else. So people, creative people, artists, they come over to
Mhm.
Times Square Center and they sell their wares.
Mhm.
Usually handmade wares.
Yep.
So yeah, they're really good quality. And yeah, we'll have a stall
Some
there.
good breads as well. They have some biscuits.
Yes,
something like that.
like
Mhm.
homemade biscuits,
Homemade
cookies.
biscuits, yes. And also we will have our booth there.
Yeah,
So
we'll be
if you happen to purchase from that booth, we have a promo wherein you will get another 20% off. You will get a 20% off in your receipts
for
you to use on next purchase to our stores.
Times
So,
Square.
Times Square
only
or here.
all the stores?
Any stores, right? Yeah. Both of our stores. Just bring the receipts with you.
Mm-hmm.
It shows it has like 20% off on your
Yeah.
next purchase.
That's good, sir. I mean, you can make a purchase just
Mhm.
to try it out, see if you like it, and if you do like it, then you'll have like discount on your next purchase.
Yep.
So it's a win-win thing.
Yep. Let's proceed again. So I'll be using this cement this time. Well, anyway, they won't have any difference because they work the same way. But
Mhm.
I'll show you guys. It's a bit tight. This one has a bit of a thick brush, like the other. So be careful on where you have to apply the cement. Make sure that the joint is not affected. So I'll just apply.
And while you're applying, Mickey, I'll
Mhm.
just like to let them know. Maybe you have apprehension. So it melts plastic, so it melts like my hand too or
No.
my fingers. No, it doesn't.
It only affects plastic.
It has a reaction in plastic, but on your hands, it's totally safe.
Mhm.
But you do have to be careful since it is a solution.
Mhm.
Don't go too close to it and inhale it.
Yep.
Okay,
It
or
stunts
you'll
it,
be
still
murmuring stuff
Mhm.
afterwards. Okay, so
So I've applied enough and then close it. I hope. Squeeze.
Niadi Al Niadi saying, I don't usually remove seam lines in the building process, but if I decided to do so, I had to sacrifice painting the model, especially for master grades.
It's not really.
It's not especially for Gunpla.
Yeah.
It's not really a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you wanna like do a clean paint on
Mhm.
it or a very clean build, then you go ahead and remove the
Mhm.
seam lines. But if you don't, it's almost it's okay. It's pretty much
It's
okay.
still okay, but you will still.
You will still see the seam
See
lines. So
the
if that's
seam
okay
line,
with you,
yeah.
then that's perfectly fine.
Also, like he's saying, he has to sacrifice it for painting.
That one I'm not sure. Like, please give us a follow up on that.
Oh yeah.
What did you mean by like sacrifice for
Sacrificing.
painting?
Did you make a mistake on seam line or
Mm.
what happened? I'm not sure.
We'd like to make sure so
Yeah.
we can like give you
Mhm.
our opinion on that based on what happened to us when we
We're
started
seam
doing
line, yeah.
seam line removal. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
especially on Gunpla. On scale models though, it's a different thing.
Mhm.
Well, nothing is mandatory. If you
Mhm.
don't want to, feel free.
Feel free.
But the thing is, if you don't remove seam lines in scale models, it's much more apparent. It's much more obvious.
Yeah, especially in
Especially in
aircraft,
cars, aircraft,
you will
tanks.
see the lines in between your plane,
Mhm.
and it doesn't seem right if you see something like
Yes,
that. Right?
exactly. So you're most likely to be doing this
Mhm.
on your scale models.
Mhm. As you can see here, I'm squeezing it tight. Not too much because I might break the plastic, but I'm not that strong, so I'm just squeezing it enough. And then I let
But
it
yeah,
dry.
guys, squeezing it is quite important because that's what you want. You want it to ooze out.
Yep. So I'll transfer it here, and then let it sit for now. So now that this is, I guess, dried enough, as you can see
Yep.
here. Well, sometimes doing seam line is like a hit and miss. So if you, for example, some of this like oozed out, right, and the other part didn't. So there are cases that it didn't merge well again. So that's when Alice's question comes in. So you have to apply some
another one.
cement on
Another
top,
layer
and then
of
let it
cement.
dry again and squeeze it and let it
Good
dry
thing
again.
about plastic models though that you can always do something about
Mhm.
it. You
Yep.
can always do something to fix it, or
There's always repair for
there's
it.
always repair for it. Yes.
Unless it's a whole body parts.
Unless you lost something.
Yeah, losing
Even
something.
losing something you still can, but
Recasting it,
as much
yeah.
as possible, don't lose anything. Remember, if you drop something, it goes to the black
Mhm.
hole, and there you're most likely not gonna find it again. Nice.
Well, black hole
Be
is
careful.
usually your carpet. So yeah. So let's
Or
go
your
back
dog's
here.
stomach.
Your dog stuff. Alright, so let's start sanding it.
Yep.
So usually when I'm doing seamline removal, I start with the low grits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use my file anymore, like this file. I'm not gonna use this because it's flat and I'm trying to like get the same shape again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use my sponge.
Yeah. Using a sponge, the sponge adapts to the surface.
Because it's a curved area, so we have to use sponge or sandpaper still.
And
So-
as we talked about last week, the lower the number on your
Mhm.
sandpaper or sanding sponge, the grittier it is, the rougher it is.
So now I'll start sanding the surface. As you can see, I'm just going back and forth on this. And as you notice, it creates more like dusts because we're trying to get rid of that oozed out plastic. So let's be careful on inhaling it. And okay, let's see.
So yes, guys, seamline removal involves a lot of sanding.
Mm-hmm.
So just to let you know, you have to be patient and you have to expect that you're gonna spend some time and effort in sanding your parts.
So, let's see.
James is saying clamps help. Yes,
Yes,
that's
the
true.
clamp. They something like maybe a big
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is something that's not even that can be bought in a bookstore. Yeah.
A big one. So
Yes.
not the small one because small ones are like
For smaller parts.
mainly
Or-
smaller parts, but they clamp harder than the big
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it might break the parts.
big,
Yeah.
big. So use the big
Good,
one.
good to note there. And James saying letting your cement cure properly before doing anything with it, like sanding or etc., gives it better results.
Mhm.
Yes, if you have more time, let it cure
Yes.
more. But in line with the workshop right now, we can't let you guys wait overnight. So
There's a
we're
24 hours
sanding.
curing time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll show you guys how it would look like if you have Seamline remove it. See, I'm just as you can see, I kept using 400 because I can still see the cement line here.
Mhm.
It's still reflective, if you guys can see as well. So I'm trying to get rid of that.
If anyone's watching from outside the GCC region, guys, just to let you know, in a week or two, we'll be launching our new website, and by then, we'll be able to deliver worldwide. So, if you're a fan of Otaku ME but never got to order something because of the restriction that we had before, good news for you. It's your chance to order from Otaku ME.
Mm-hmm. Keep sanding, keep sanding.
Keep sanding, keep sanding.
Just remove some dust. Then continue sanding.
You're still using the 400,
Yes,
right?
I can still see some lines, so.
Yes. That's
But no, don't like sand so much because you might like
yes.
thin out the plastic.
When
and
you're sanding,
I'm
like-
just letting the
yeah,
sponge do its job.
exactly.
I don't apply
Just let it
pressure.
flow. Just let it touch the surface, and just let it flow. Do not put so much effort in sanding, because before you know it, you won't have any part left. It's all been sanded out.
So thin.
Yeah.
Alright, so
And don't worry about the scratches that it makes, because Mickey will show us progressive sanding again.
Mhm.
So that's using finer and finer grit until you get the part looking clean and smooth again.
alright, so I think
Mhm.
all the lines are gone now.
Mhm.
You guys can see there's still something like here, and then maybe down here. But as you can see in the middle,
Yeah, the main part is already been
all gone.
sanded
So let's
down.
continue up there. Just to get rid of that line.
Mhm. It's good. Guys, why are you not commenting?
Where are you guys?
Engage with us. Let us know that you're here. If you have done this before and you have some tips, or you just want to share some story of what happened when you try to remove seam lines, share it with us.
Alright.
We'd love to hear them.
So there it goes. It looks smooth already though. But it's still scratched up, as you guys can see. Maybe it's closer. Yeah, the line is gone, unlike here. That's the seam line. And comparing here, that's pretty much gone. So yeah, let's compare here. See, they're the same. It looks better, right?
Now,
Unlike on this part, if we compare, It looks like something that you have to get rid of because it's kind of annoying in the eye that you have a line in between your legs. Yep, something like that. And that's it. And then continue with the
Pretty
next
much you're
bits.
trying to recreate what it should look like in the series, in the
Yes,
anime.
basically.
Yeah.
600.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
So
or
you moved on to
I'm done with
600.
400,
Yeah.
and then now I'll move on to 600. Later on, I'll show you guys this part as for wet sanding.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Mickey is progressing to a finer grip. Yeah,
To make
so
it smoother?
make it smoother. So from 400, he's now at a 600 sponge, 600 grip.
Alright, I'm done with 600 now. You see, I didn't stay so long on 600 because I'm just trying to like get rid of the scratches of 400. So let's continue with this.
So Ali's saying that he only tried to remove seam lines once before. Now this can happen. In Ali's case, not enough of the plastic oozed out to fill the seam. So he ended up using Mr. Hobby dissolved putty to fill in the gap. Yes,
Yeah.
that's also one of the ways that you can seal it.
Yeah, another thing that if you notice that I was doing is I'm applying a lot of cements on the gap because I'm trying to make sure that the gap melts before
it oozes out.
before I bind them together. So once I squeeze them, it's already pre-melted, something
Yes,
like that.
Exactly.
And then once you squeeze them, it will ooze out easily. So,
But when that does happen, there are things that you can do, and one of them is put like putty in it.
if you're painting as well.
If you're painting as well, yeah. So that happened to me. I was building a car, and then I made a mistake. I accidentally chipped like a tiny part off the roof of the car, which is once I prime it, I'm pretty sure that it will show, and it will bother me for the rest of my life.
There's also a trick if you're not painting, like for example doing clean builds. You can actually say, for example, we cutted some parts of it, like for these parts, right?
Oh yeah,
You can actually melt these
with cement.
with cement. Say for example you have some gaps or some holes in it. So you can fill them up with this melted pieces. Just melt them properly. I think the one that is good for the cement that is good for melting these is the
white one,
the one.
original one, the
white
stronger
cement.
one. Exactly.
I don't think I have that here, but yeah. So melt these in a bottle, and then later on, once it's all liquidish, apply it on the
On the
uneven
seam line.
area and the seam line,
On the gap.
and then let it dry. And later on, you can sand it, and
sand it off.
it will be the same
Exactly.
thing.
Yes.
So that's another trick if you're not painting. Also, you can use it in painting. Yeah.
Turns into clay.
Clay, something
Yeah,
like that.
it's the same concept as clay.
Mhm.
So you just keep on adding layers, and then you can just remove those layers later on. Johnny saying hi from Al Ain. Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny says he uses the white cap Tamiya cement for seam lines. Yes, we are. Well, maybe LA can get one of the white caps so we can show them as well. So the white cap is usually the stronger one, which is you can definitely use that.
It's basically the strongest one.
The strongest one, but yeah, it really depends on like what you're used to using. So like me personally, I'd probably use this extra thin as well, just to make sure that I don't overdo it. But yeah, if you've done it multiple times before, feel free. So thank you, Eli.
Thank you so much.
We have
So
this. Let's show them
this one.
the original white cap.
So this is
Tamiya
the
cement.
first cement that Tamiya made, I guess. And then you can melt these small pieces with this. Just apply a drop or two along with this, and then let it melt. Like if once it turns into like liquidish, clayish, something like that. You
Like
can,
slime.
Yeah, like a slime thing. You can put that on the seam line
Or the gap.
or the gap. Usually there are like uneven gaps or a hole on the seam line that you cannot repair basically because it's too deep. So you just apply it on there and then sand it later on. So as you guys can see, I'm done sanding after up to 1000 and it's all
Can I see?
smooth now.
It's almost non-existent. And I guess it makes your parts more solid. Now it doesn't fall apart or break apart
gonna
because
fall apart,
it's just
actually.
it's one part now.
So now we have the same leg. Doesn't look bad anymore, right? And unlike here. So yeah, that's the one, the sanding with sponge. I'll show you guys how to sand with wet sanding. How to do the wet sanding. So let's get some sandpapers and then some water. Yeah, here, I have a water here.
Is it still warm?
Yeah, it's cold already. No, it's okay, but it's for wet sanding only. Let's just see. So first, let's check the parts on how deep it is, and then get a sandpaper, and then tip. It's like making the plastic wet, and then sand it. Like that.
So I've tried wet sanding before. Some of the things that I noticed is actually it's easier to sand
Exactly.
because I think I'm using less effort because it's smoother. It's easier to maintain the sanding motion.
And also you don't see the powders of the plastic.
Less dust.
Yeah.
And the plastic is smoother compared to when you don't put like water.
Sometimes you just like actually stay on 600 and it will be smooth. Smooth on its own. And also get waterproof sandpaper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
some
we have a
sandpaper does not work well with water.
Yep.
They're like really like paper, but I think the ones that we have here are like hobby grade.
Yeah,
Sandpaper?
the Tamiya sandpaper. I have,
Yeah, so they
Mr.
are
Hobby.
waterproof.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are waterproof, so you can use this as for wet sanding. So as you can see, let's make sure that everything is sanded.
Hey guys, if you have any questions, ask away in the comments. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
And
As
then, as you
As
can
much
see,
questions as we can.
Yep, as you can see, there are all the dust collected in liquid, and then wipe it off. And we still see some lines, right? So we have to continue on sanding. It's,
That part you haven't cemented, right? Oh, you
I
have
did,
cemented.
yeah.
You did.
It's
Okay.
cemented all together. I think I have to use the 400 because sanding. I'm only using 600 here. It might take a while as well. Let's try 400. Godhand is also waterproof.
Yes.
I'm only sanding in this part for now because this is a curved area, and sponge as well is good for that. So let's just keep sanding and then remove the water. Just apply again water. Then sand, keep sanding. And I'll continue with the other part now to make an even layer.
Because guys, imagine if you did not remove the seam lines and then you put primer or paint on it.
We'll see.
It's really gonna show. that big line in the middle is really gonna show,
Mm.
and it's even more highlighted if you paint it.
As you guys can see now, it's going away. The lines are going away. And let's keep sanding.
Hi to all the 15 viewers that we have right now.
Mhm.
How are you guys doing? Hope you're learning a lot of things here. If you have any questions, let us know.
Just keep sanding, keep sanding.
Goy Manwa is saying sponge really works well.
Mhm.
Yep. Personally, I prefer sponges. But
Thin.
yeah, it also depends on the surface that you're working on.
Mhm.
Sometimes sponge cannot be curved as much or as good as
Yeah, you need a
the
thick
paper.
sponge. It turns the straight areas to like the flat
Curve
areas to
as well,
curve.
yeah.
So you'll have to use something like a flat sanding stick
Mm.
like these. So yeah, or sandpaper, of course. But in a flat surface, it's better to have like a sanding stick as well.
Yes, definitely.
So let's add more water. Again, the waters are being absorbed by the sponge.
James say now at this point the finger starts to get numb.
Yeah,
Is that true?
a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's part of it, but it's the best feeling if you get it right.
Mhm. So you'll have to get used to it.
Sealing the seam lines.
Mhm.
It does take effort. So if anything, for any endeavor, guys, you need to put in your time, your effort to give it 100%, the best that you can.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Alright. And I think the lines are gone and like gone enough maybe. And a bit more here at the top. Okay, so you might notice that there's a area that I cannot reach. Say for example this area.
Yes, you can't it's in a very peculiar area
Yeah.
that it's hard to reach by the sanding sponge.
But we have this
Ooh, fancy
fancy tool, the ceramic. So
ceramic knife.
I'll just switch it with the curve one, and then just
Wow.
carve it out.
So the main purpose of the ceramic knife is not for slicing, but to actually use it to just like what Mickey is doing right now.
Yeah, like that.
It's
You
amazing.
can actually use it in the entire thing.
You can also use it for slicing, right? But it's
Mhm.
not. You'd rather use your regular knife for that. It's amazing.
And that area is gone now. See? It's a blade but not sharp. It can only cut or trim some plastic.
Some
it only works
plastic,
on plastic.
yeah,
so
like
basically.
thin plastic.
You can also like use this for customization, like adding some edge on your kits.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you guys.
Ceramic blade.
So if I say for example,
Kenji Todoroki is saying that's a very old trick. Yes. Mickey is a trickster.
trickster. So this flat area, say for example, you curve this area, it turns a bit curvish, right? So you can put it back, like bring it back to its old angled area by
That's basically reshaping.
reshaping it.
By the
again.
way,
Yeah.
guys, next week we'll have James back here on the table, and we'll be talking about reshaping your plastic parts. So that's like another like level in the customizing.
So yeah, it's angled again. So
Nice, yeah.
that's
The beauty of plastic.
the plastic. Let's continue sanding. I guess continue with 600. Wet sanding again. More wet sanding to make it even more smoother.
Guys, send in your questions. We'd love to discuss things that might be confusing or you're not very sure what's happening right now. And for those that just turned in, we are having a workshop, and it's a seamline removal and decal application. So right now we're probably like midway through our seamline removal, and 80% of it is sanding.
Mhm. A lot of sanding.
Yes.
Well, you have to sand everything anyway when you're removing knobs.
Yes.
You can actually like before you clear the knobs on your kit, you can directly do the seam line along with the knob and like sand the entire knob with the
Yeah.
seam line.
Yeah, you can do that actually. If you're
hit
confident in doing that, like by all means.
That's also
yeah.
the part of it. You can do two things at the same time if you're doing that.
Yes. Have to be more efficient.
Going back, more
Yep.
sanding.
That's why it's the basics, brothers. Oldest tricks in the modeling world. From why does old always come up, man? Like who's old? No
Who's
one's
old?
old, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I knew about this for like how long now? 3 years now.
3 years now.
Yeah, it's been 3 years. This
Yeah, but
has
yeah.
been with me and it does not break. Just don't drop it. If you drop it, it will break. So yeah, we're done with this.
This
You
is
see?
some fancy tools, Mickey.
The line is gone. Yep. You see here. Now we have a proper leg. And
That's true.
I guess this part is now
Ready?
ready to be sanded
Yes.
again. But I won't be sanding this because we did a lot of sanding now. So I can just show you guys the difference of it. Let's put this back together. Just hope I'm getting it correct.
If they don't have any plastic cement, there are other ways they can use putty.
Putty,
Yeah.
if you're painting.
If you're painting, yeah,
Mhm.
putty. The problem about putty is that putty has a color, so it will discolorize you create
Yes,
discolorization on the plastic, so it will show.
Yep,
If you're
so
painting, you can do that. Yeah.
There we go. That's our leg seam line.
Yay!
Let's see
I mean, it's amazing, man.
You guys remember how it looks like before, then you can see the difference now.
And this reminds me. So I think I've talked about this before. That whenever you're asking us, how long does it take for this particular kit to be finished, and we really can't give you a proper answer because there are different ways in like building.
We have our own
And
processes of building.
Exactly, you have your own processes, and especially if you're someone like Mickey, and you want it clean.
Yep.
So you'll go through this. Like by this time, someone that is just building, cutting and building could have already finished or
one
almost
kit, yeah.
like 3/4 in like finishing the kit. But right now, Mickey is still on the leg part. That's
Leg part.
because he spent the time in cleaning it properly.
Just don't rush everything. Rushing is for Russian. Just kidding.
Going back to the workshop, don't mind the joke.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
It's
so
not urgent.
yeah, I think cleaning is for me personally, in my own opinion, it's nice to have that as a second nature. You don't just want to build; you have to like build cleanly.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's your cleaned leg. And we're done with the seam line.
yeah. So just to give them an idea, can you show them the rest of the kit? And then what are the parts that they still have to seam line?
Okay,
if
so
they're gonna go through
as
it?
you can see, always if you're building a high grade, usually the legs are mostly like two parts together, binded together like that. The arms, sometimes in the shoulder, like you can see the lines there. That's the seam line. And the chest here. That's a common thing about like seam line. But there are some that might have mistaken some panel line to be a
Yes,
seam
you have
line.
to be very careful.
Say for example,
Some lines are meant to be there.
Yep,
They're
so-
panels. Yeah.
say for example this area, this is not a seam line, that's a panel line. So you can see the groove in it. Yeah, that.
It's
That's a groove,
it's
you
a
can panel
thicker
it.
line,
Mhm.
so you can tell, or it indicates that it's
Mhm.
supposed to be there. There's supposed to be a
Yep.
line there. And
So-
the good thing is actually you can reference it from the source material. Maybe you can watch the anime, especially if you're building like aircraft,
Yep.
tanks, cars. You look at your source materials,
Mhm.
Google like the actual model, and see if there's supposed to be lines in there. It's
Yep.
supposed to be, and if there's none on the real thing, then there should be none on the model.
Yep.
So that
Mhm.
indicates that you have to remove that seam line.
So some are panel lines, don't be
Mhm.
confused on that.
Yeah. So yeah, usually they're thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already like a red flag. Like don't remove me. I belong.
I belong. I'm your detail.
I'm in detail. Yes.
Thanks.
Because
So
later
that's-
on you can add like panel line wash or
Mhm.
markings in there to fill it out. So yeah, that's awesome. So we gave you like a basics of seam line removal. Our next topic is something a lot of you are very interested in. Decal application. So me personally, when I started out building gunpla or scale models in general, I hated putting in decals because I thought like once I built the kit, that's it, and then I have to like spend more hours like putting in decals, and it bummed me.
It's something that most people like do. For example,
Yeah.
you just want to see what you built. You don't want to
Exactly.
do all extra work to do.
But
to see
since
it.
then, I've known for a fact that putting in the decals really changes how your model kit looks.
There's a huge difference.
There's a
between-
huge difference. It gives it a whole new personality.
Mhm.
So yeah, guys, don't do what I used to do. Do your decals.
Be a
So
proper modeler.
Mickey will show us how to properly put in your decals. You said, Mickey, there's like 3 common types of decals.
Yep.
So Mickey will show us the different types of decals.
So what we have here is one is sticker style. As you can see
Mhm.
here, that these stickers can be peeled off like
just like a normal
normal
sticker.
sticker. Like that.
Usually the older, especially the older Gunplas, the stickers are like foil stickers.
Mhm.
They're like metallic color.
Yep.
This is the same thing as that, but this is geared towards more realism.
Mhm.
So they're usually more transparent.
The old type of stickers are like let's call this like a paper style stickers.
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
usually the color correction stickers. They're
Yes.
called something like that.
Mhm.
Like, as you can see, some of the models does not have this color in the mold,
Mhm.
and then they add in some stickers to it
Mhm.
to correct that part's color. So that's color correction
Yeah.
decals.
Before you start, Mickey,
Mhm.
very interesting comment here by Niyadi. I think I noticed seam lines on the life-size Yokohama X78-2 Gundam. Can you imagine sanding the life-size RX-70? I think like I understand, like man.
Yeah, there are some of that.
Yeah, I guess like yeah, who can blame them? I wouldn't wanna like sand the whole thing as well.
Well, if it's life size and it has like a seam line like that, maybe it's
Maybe it's
meant,
supposed to be there.
it's meant to be there. Maybe.
Just believe that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's meant to be there.
It's
Okay.
on one scale anyway.
Anyway, it's awesome.
Yep.
Quite awesome. Alright, so Mickey,
So,
yeah, please
these
show
are
us.
These are the decals. What we have here is another type of decal, which is the dry transfer.
Dry transfer.
So
okay.
it has this white covering
Mhm, like a
that
white
protects
paper.
yeah, that protects the decals because the decals is in the other side. of it.
Ooh.
It's not on this side. It's in this side that you have to stick on the surface and rub.
So you have to protect that side. That's why there's like a paper
exactly.
protection. Exactly.
And then in this blue thing, this big one, is the water slide decals, which requires water, warm water, to be applied to. So
Water slide decals. So yeah, again we have just the normal stickers.
normal stickers.
What do you call that again? What kind of stickers?
Well, sticker style maybe.
Sticker,
Yes,
yeah.
Sticker stick.
Decal sticker.
Yeah.
So you just peel them off and then apply them, and then you have your dry transfer and your water slide.
As you can see, it's used up because we already applied it to the
Some of
Zaku.
them,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's the water slide decals. So we'll start with the stickers.
Before you do that,
Oh,
recommended tools. I guess before they start, if they wanna like join us or build with us, what are the tools that we will be needing?
We'll go there one by one in each of them. So for example, you always need hobby knife, a sharp one.
Yes.
Always a new blade, because if you don't have a new blade, it will not cut anything. So a new blade.
And especially on decals,
Yeah.
because they're very fragile.
Mhm.
If you're using a dull blade, there's a tendency that you will destroy the
It
decals
will,
itself. It won't get cut. It'll get caught on the blade, and the blade will like
Pull it out,
tear it right
tear it
off.
out, yes.
So you want the blade slicing on that. Yes, it has to be sharp.
So for stickers, we'll be only using this. So
Just a knife.
Just a knife to apply it, basically, or a tweezer, of course. We'll need tweezer. Always have a tweezer. So two tools is something that you need.
Guys, if you have tweezers at home, the one you're using to pluck your eyebrows with, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not designed for this.
Not meant for
It's actually wider and might actually destroy the decals. So there are specialized decals for specialized tweezers for hobby.
So
For this hobby.
yeah, there are two types of tweezers. There are two types of tweezers. Let's say there's a angled one and then there's a straight one. So it depends on how what you're comfortable with.
Yes.
But I'm more comfortable with the straight one, so I'll be using that.
Actually, I prefer the angled one. The straight one is very direct. The angled one, you can actually, it really depends on how you want to position your hands. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm more comfortable because I usually use it this way. So I point
And
on
yeah,
that
if you can show them how it's really sharp, it has a sharp tip to actually just pick up that decal.
Yeah, that's a sharp tip. And for
the
dry
dry
transfer, of course, the same tool and tape. Something
Tape.
like that. A tape to hold it in. Or if you guys can hold it in with your hand and then rub it in, that's okay as well.
But yeah, if you can use tape, use tape. Because you never know. You might have to answer your phone or scratch your nose, and you really have to remove your hand. Then it'll just fall off. Yeah, secure it with something. Or glue tack. You can also, no?
Well,
Yes,
it might
no.
leave some residue,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
okay as well.
If you can, if you used it before, then you can use that as well.
Have you tried that before?
No. I'm just,
Something that's to stick into.
it's a question for you.
Oh
Actually.
yeah.
So yeah,
so
it could be tricky.
tape.
So yeah, tape.
And for water slide decals, of course, water.
Water.
You need warm water, not a cold one, because cold one will take a lot more time to separate it.
Yes.
So warm water, this,
Warm, not hot or boiling
Yep.
water, guys.
and some cotton bud.
I've tried it before, and actually the decal got incinerated. They melted with the hot water.
So
It was like hot water right from the dispenser. It's not even boiling water, but it was smoking, and
And
it
then
melted the decals.
for applying the water slide decals, we have this Mr. Mark Setter Neo and Mark Sutter. So
Is that really necessary though? It
in
helps a lot.
yeah, it helps a lot on doing it properly.
Doing it properly.
Yeah.
Yes, guys.
Mhm.
So, but just to set it straight, you can still attach a
you can
water
still
slide
apply
decal without it,
yeah.
but
It
like
might
for us,
fall
we
off.
never do.
There's no
Yeah.
proper binding on the
exactly.
surface.
So Mickey will show you later how to use the mark setter and the mark softer.
Mhm.
And if you ask any modeler friends, it's almost a no-no to actually put in decals without those.
Mhm. So
Yes,
thank you,
we're
Eli.
using the Dynamis.
So
This is the MG version,
Yep.
right? One of the most beautiful kits that I've seen.
that's MG.
Look at that.
We'll apply the decals for it
Exciting.
on the shields only because that's a large surface that you guys can compare. So in this part we will be applying the decals and this part we won't. So let's see which part are.
Look at that. It's a
This is the
sniper. Amazing.
Do you guys have your Dynamis now?
Check out the MG Dynamis,
MG.
guys.
That's
Very articulate. And like the poses of this long rifle, it's really nice.
So first look for the part that you need to put it on. So of course.
So now we're starting with the decal sticker.
Yep.
Yes.
So I need to get, let's see which part I can apply it to. So I'll just apply this number 2, number 15.
And
Is it
I,
the same colors? Okay, so I'll try to get this one. I'll apply this 02002 on the shoulder. That's this one. So let's take it out.
Niadi has the Dynamis, but it's still in the box.
Start
Why? Build it with us.
Is the cutting mat also necessary?
Mhm.
Is the
Yeah.
cutting mat also necessary?
Well, it is if you're trying to cut some parts.
We really recommend it, guys.
Also in the decals, water slide decals,
Yes.
you don't want to scratch your table with
Your table.
with the blade.
Yeah, you don't want your wife to be screaming at you or your mom.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So,
cutting mat you still have to have your cutting mat.
let's apply it properly the correct way. As you can see, it's sticking
So
on
I
its own, so I have
see
to
it.
take it.
A common mistake is they're removing the sticker using their hands,
Yeah.
which is a big no-no. Your hand has a lot of surface and it destroys the adhesive part. So there's a chance that your decal won't stick.
Okay.
You have to have steady hands.
Steady hands, steady hands.
And if you do make a mistake, you can still fix it. But you have to have
There you go.
steady
Then just
hands.
stick it.
There you go. Amazing. And guys, if you don't have steady hands, which is a thing, like sometimes I build while I'm hungry and I notice my hands are shaking. Well, first thing, you don't build when you're hungry.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that you can do. Like you can put your elbows on the table
Yep. Let it
and
rest.
it stabilizes your
Mhm.
hand. And yeah, there's a lot, especially when I'm painting my figures. Like my pinky
Mhm.
always touches a part of the figure,
Uh-huh. So like
and that already
Yeah, of course.
stabilizes my hand. So there's a lot of things that you can do.
Similar also to painting.
The painting, exactly. This one always touch like a
Like
part
this.
of it. Yep.
so you have to make sure that you have proper support with your.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're doing it in a proper place. Don't put like when you're lying in bed and you just put on a pillow and then you start putting on decals in there. I wouldn't suggest that because you're in bed and everything is so soft, everything
Yeah.
moves, bed is bouncy, you know
So a
that.
lot of us are just building in our beds, of course.
Well, no, I don't.
Still, no,
So at least
get a table.
Yeah, like we want you to build comfortably, but if you're applying the decals,
Well, if
try
you don't
to-
have space at home, you can always build with us here
Yeah,
at the store.
yes, absolutely. Drop by the store.
Mhm.
Build stations are absolutely free.
So you can see I'm using the back of the
The
file,
yeah.
because it's like a semi-soft,
It's
Rubber-ish.
rubber. Yep.
so you can easily like rub the like white areas and flatten out the entire stickers.
Just make sure that every
applied.
part is sticking
Mhm.
to the surface.
So that's and that.
See, yeah,
There's a difference.
creates a
now.
lot of difference. Especially it makes it more militaristic or whatever.
Tongue
It'll
twisting.
make it look like a proper like military transportation or
Mhm,
vehicle. Because if you don't know, Gundam series is actually tailored from the actual wars that
Yeah.
happened.
Mhm.
So yeah, some of the designs and so they do have markings, just like how like a real tank or a real aircraft
Mhm.
has their own markings. So yeah,
So that's
very
for
easy,
the
right?
sticker. Very easy.
Very
Just-
easy. That's
take out
the
and
basic,
apply.
the sticker.
Alright, so we're done with the sticker.
Now we're moving on.
Maybe they are curious of us removing the excess area, or should we? Or not?
Yeah, you can show them. I
Mm.
guess if there are some excess areas, you can do something about it.
As long as
You have to be careful. You don't want to
we're
ruin
careful,
it.
of course. So as you can see here, there is an excess plastic of the sticker, right? So you don't want that, because if you top coat, it will still show on the
Yeah, there's like a part flapping out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it will still show on the top coat, like silvering of that.
Yeah.
So what you
And
do,
it's prone to get removed as
Mhm.
well. Yeah.
so what you do is get a sharp blade. For me, I'm using the long one because I'm used to that. And then just trim it out. Like that. Of course, you don't rush, because if you rush, you will make mistake and cut off the
The actual design.
actual design.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen, so be careful.
But there are some modelers that are really, really good. That instead of using decals, they paint.
Mm-hmm.
They paint it on the markings. I mean, if you practice a lot, you'll definitely get there. I'm definitely not there, so it's amazing. You see, like the markings are painted on instead of using
Right.
decals.
So now we peeled off the unnecessary plastic.
Guys, you have to be very careful with this. You don't want to scratch the actual part.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're just slicing through the decals.
Let's see here. It feels good that if you're removing something like this, it would feel good.
Yeah.
Satisfying.
It's just like watching those pimple popper
Oh, no.
videos.
Yeah, so, trim it out. As you can see, it's
Ooh,
there.
that's so cool. And yeah,
Let's try not to damage the detail. And then take it out with a thin. There we go.
nice.
So you have less
You have less like paper or sticker, I
sticker
guess,
on it.
and you just leave the actual design.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
That's a quick trick. that
But
people do.
yeah, it's still up to you. If you just
It's not
wanna,
really necessary to do this,
yeah,
because people.
it's just Mickey is.
I'm picky. I'm just
Mickey
being
being Mickey. To remove. But yeah, and I mean, if you want to do it, and I think like eventually I want to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a good start. We're moving on.
Mhm.
So now we're
Next.
Mickey's gonna teach us
So
dry transfer.
Dry transfer. So let's get this time. We'll
Mickey, I have a question. I don't know if you even have the answer for it, but what determines if the kit that you're buying comes with a water slide, a normal sticker, or dry transfer? What are the things that actually determines that?
Well, I really cannot answer. I'm not sure exactly because most of the kits comes with the, like
The
for
sticker.
example. Oops.
Yes, tell us if you can still hear us, okay? Okay, I think it's okay.
Okay,
Alright.
sorry about that. So usually master grade comes with stickers.
Mm-hmm. Master grades.
Yeah, and some of them has dry transfer. Say for example the old master grades.
Mm-hmm.
They have dry transfer.
Okay.
And most of the premium ones or the big kits of master grade, they have water slide decals.
Water slide decals.
And say for example for RG, they
Mhm.
only have sticker, like
Mhm.
the same one as this one. RG only have this one, but the water
you can
slide.
buy water slide.
Yeah, there's an
versions.
optional water slide decals. Some of them, not all of them.
It's
yeah.
not yet updated, but Bandai do try to release more and more
Mhm.
water slides.
Yep.
So I think most of the RGs and MGs that you can buy, they have an equivalent
Yeah,
water slide.
optional
already.
water
optional
slide.
water slide that you can buy separately.
High grades does not have decals
Water slides.
or water slide.
They have stickers.
Some of them have
Mhm.
stickers like color correction stickers.
Mm-hmm.
And say for example the origin line of the high grade
Mhm.
has their same type of sticker
Decal stickers.
decals, so something
I
like that.
see. I see.
But PGs, they don't have water slide decals, so they're always like this.
All stickers.
Stickers.
But if you're into scale modeling, most of the time scale models have water slide decals.
Yeah, they're always
almost always. Almost always.
So
yeah.
now
Thank you for that. Yeah, moving on, Mickey. Sorry for
let's apply the.
asking unnecessary questions.
No, it's necessary. A lot of people doesn't know what are the
The differences.
contents of what they're buying,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
So now I'll get the decals for the bazooka. So that's trying to make it close. That's this one. So that's bazooka decal, literally the bazooka decal.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is
Water slide.
This is the dry transfer.
transfer.
Mhm.
So what I'll do, I'll just cut
Guys, if you
it
just
off.
tuned in, Mickey is teaching us how to apply a dry transfer.
Mhm. Trying to be careful on cutting it up because if I apply too much pressure, I might cut the unnecessary decal.
Yeah.
So,
So it's very important to have a very sharp knife
Mhm.
and just let it pass through and then just cut out the part. So you just really need the part that you need.
That's the
Nice.
decal that we need. Can you guys see it? Okay. Stop focusing.
Johnny's saying scale models also have metal stickers and masking stickers sometimes. Yes. That's the beauty of scale models.
So we'll apply that in this area. As you can see already. So like I said earlier, I'll need some tape.
Yeah. Very important. Tape to secure
Mhm.
your dry transfer.
Okay, I'll need your help because this is a bit tricky. I don't do this much because I don't like dry transfer personally.
Yeah, but we are here to show you how.
Yep,
So,
we're here
yeah.
to show you how. Do we have? I need something that would hold the
Going back to what Johnny said, yeah, you can even buy third-party like metal stickers for your scale models.
So I use the blue tack to hold this.
Mm-hmm.
It does not move anymore. So I just put it in. And then if you have a thinner sticker, that's okay as well. But I have a thick one here. So,
This is your normal sticker, right?
yeah, if you have like a thin tape, use that and then align it properly.
Guys, it's actually quite hard to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes time to like get used to it.
Mhm.
So you'll really have to like practice.
So now we have it in place.
Yes.
Now the handy dandy sanding sanding file.
Sanding file.
Yeah. I'll use again this part. You can rub with your finger
Mm-hmm.
or a penny or something.
Does a coin work?
A coin, yes, of course. But I prefer using a soft one, a rubberish one, because I might damage the decal,
paper, yeah.
the plastic or the
Exactly.
decal placement if
contains
I
it.
use something hard. So what I do is I just rub, and rub. Just keep rubbing. I will never know if it's applied or not until I remove it. Until I remove the tape.
So as much as possible, try to
rubbing.
rub as much as you can,
Mhm.
and probably every part of it, just to
Every
make
corner,
sure.
yes.
You don't wanna like leave out the A in bazooka, and when you peel it out, it's just bazook.
Bazooka.
You don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, as much as possible, try to get all of that.
Yeah. Keep rubbing,
Rub
keep
it.
rubbing.
Keep rubbing, keep rubbing.
Keep rubbing, keep rubbing.
So
I just hope-
Nikki is now officially a robber. What's with all these jokes, man?
Yeah, what is wrong with you, man?
You started it.
Okay, don't rush, of course, because if you rush, you might miss some area, like
Yeah.
Paula said. Just keep on rubbing until you are 100% sure that you rubbed.
Which
The
you can
entire
never really
surface.
know.
You will never know,
So
but-
you just have to give it your best, give it your all.
Give it more time a bit.
Hi to our 16 viewers there.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I hope you're learning a lot. And don't mind the silly jokes.
There's just
We don't really like tell jokes. We're very like formal people
We're formal
here.
people.
Yeah.
That's a joke as well.
It doesn't. Renz Abby is saying good info would help me in my future kits.
We're glad we
ah,
helped.
it makes us happy
So yeah,
if
you guys can see
you're
that
learning
I've-
something from us.
I've rubbed the entire surface of the decal, and then let's hope that I didn't miss anything.
Then
Drum roll, please. And
yes, it's
It's
bazooka.
complete. There you go. But of course, this type of decals, like the water slide decals, both of them requires protection.
Yes.
You have to protect them with top coat, clear coats, something like that.
But is it safe to say, and this I'm just assuming, so I'm asking Mickey,
Mhm.
the dry transfer is kind of an old technology, right?
Yes.
It's like some of the older kits, they still have the dry transfer. But as far as I know, they're trying to convert it to either just decal sticker or water slide.
Water slide, yes.
Because there is like an obvious like difficulty level in
Mhm.
applying the dry transfer. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's that.
yeah, it's also good experience to try it. That looks pretty. And yeah, you were mentioning that you need something to protect.
Yeah, that's
Your decal?
clear coat or top coat, something like that, because these type of decals can be easily rubbed off. Like if I rub with my finger, it will be removed.
It will be removed.
Yeah.
So yeah, after you've applied everything, thank you so much, Eli. You can cover it with your top coat. So top coat, this is one of the top coats. This is like the basic top coat that we sell here. It's a spray. So you just like spray it on your kit once you're done. And it protects or seals your decals in. And the top coat also comes with different kinds of finishes. So you have your matte or flat finish, your semi-gloss, or your glossy ones. So if
Depends
you want
on your
to
preference,
create like an effect, if you want it like matte, like a flat tone or a glossy shiny tone, this will give you that. So yeah.
So there goes your bazooka dry transfer.
Bazooka.
Well, I kind of misaligned it though. So
Yeah.
make sure you have everything aligned before.
Yes,
you
guys, make
put
sure that
together.
you got it all aligned. Yeah.
So that's it for this.
That's good.
And moving on.
And moving on, I think one of the most common questions that we have here: how do we use water slide decals? So
Water slide decals. Okay, I need some bit of space. I don't need you anymore. I don't need this anymore because
water slide is my favorite as well.
Have
But yeah, you have to be very careful with it as well.
So let's call back our gym. And then, okay, so the tools and things that you need for using this, as like I said,
Johnny is a veteran modeler,
Yep.
and he's saying one of the hardest marking systems is the dry transfer.
dry transfer, yes. Imagine in like my early days of Gunpla, the decals of Wing series, people are like for me, I like I saw Wing Zero and the Death Sights kits.
The wing series.
Yeah, I got them. I didn't know what kind of decals they have, like stickers or whatever. So I don't know how to apply the the dry transfer. I googled some, and I had to rub it like the old tattoo type of thing.
Yeah.
So all the markings and everything, you have to rub everything. So that's kind of like Johnny said, the hardest.
It's the hardest. And yeah, so like I said, it's the kind of phasing it out already, but you will still come up with kits that has dry transfer, so you have to be ready.
Yep.
That's why we're showing you the ropes.
Now, which decals do we want to put in this guy? Maybe this Fedi logo. Yeah, this Fedi's logo. Is there an RX-78 logo here?
By the way, guys, if you're wondering, this water slide decal is not really for the GM.
Not for the GM, but
well, for an example, so we can show you how to apply it. We're gonna apply this. This is for the Alex, right?
MJ Alex, and
MJ
then
Alex.
some of these, so for example here, is for Universal Century.
Yeah, like a general
HGUC.
logo. Yeah.
Like here as well, and it says here NT1. That's the Alex, and that's the high grade NT1 Alex, and then the master grade is here down here. So that's its entire decal. So I'll be using this because that's for the same scale.
Yes.
So if you're applying water slide decals has to have the same scale.
Yes. Very important to remember. It has to be scaled. So if it's a 144 kit, you have to use 144 decals.
Yep.
If not, it will not look right. It will be either too big or too small. So yeah, good thing to point out.
So let's
Hi to our 11 people watching. Hope you guys are learning a lot.
I took out the shoulder because I'll be using this, maybe this one. And the things that we'll be needing, this guy, Setter Neo,
Mark Setter and Mark Softer.
and a warm water, not a cold water, and some cotton buds.
I believe cold water will just wrinkle the decal, or
It
won't
take
remove.
it won't remove the
It won't
decals.
separate from its paper. Yep.
So first.
And a good indication of water slide is it actually comes in blue paper.
Yep.
Yep.
Blue paper. So now I just cut out the part that I
Mickey is
want.
cutting out the part that he needs. That's very important because you, if you put everything in water at once, you'll have all the parts at once. So yeah, that's a big
They'll
no-no.
mix up, they might separate, and then they might
Exactly.
ruin everything, of course. So now we have it out.
So make sure you show them it's on camera.
Yeah, let's put that
So,
water.
yeah, there's
here.
the water.
And let's dive in.
How many seconds?
Usually, if you have warm water, like 10 seconds, 5, 10, 15 seconds, depends on what
Does it?
decals you have.
Is
and how
there
big
come
it
to a
is.
point where it soaks so much that it destroys it? Not really, right?
Not really, unless you. Okay. So yeah, unless you have what you call this? Unless you leave it too long in the water.
Too long, way
Yeah.
too long,
Yeah.
I guess. Right.
Kinda lost there. It's got another one. A small one this time. Let's dig deep again. Deep. And then
So maybe the bigger sticker is ready.
the way to know it is just see if it's separating. Well, it's not yet ready.
Yeah. So guys, what will happen is that the decal itself will separate from the paper that's protecting it, and you actually
Not sure.
take out the decal.
And sometimes there are like downside of water slide decals because if it's a very old water slide decals, like it's
It
been
could
there,
be damaged.
it could be
It
damaged,
could be dried up. Yeah.
dried up. You won't be able to use it anymore. But well,
That's the downside.
this decal is also one of those old decals that I have.
Normally it should be.
That's
Yeah, normally
like that.
within 10-15 seconds it'll be already be separating. But
but it's
yeah, I
not
think
separating.
if you're not in a hurry, I think
Let's
we
wait.
can wait a bit.
Ways to see it. Still not there yet. Yeah, we have a bit of less warm water.
You need more?
No, it's okay. Let's just wait a bit.
Mhm.
So, you guys, if you guys have any question on applying
Yeah,
decals,
please send us your questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Very important.
Don't forget, we will. Our website is on process of migrating now, and you will experience something
Loyalty points.
something
Collector
better
card.
for a very long time. You guys have been
Yeah,
asking.
usually establishment has just one type of loyalty program. It's either you earn points for every purchase, or you get like those stamp cards where they put a stamp
Yeah.
every time you make a purchase, and then you collect a certain amount of stamps. But we're doing both for you guys. The stamp card, you won't have a physical stamp card, but it'll be on your profile
accounts.
online on our website. So you better sign up for an account. So
There will be certain set of
Yes.
kits that will put up there as a collector card. And then,
if you buy those kits, you get you're filling out like the requirement, and then there's an equivalent gift where
Alright. So now it's separated. As
now,
you can
okay,
see.
yes.
Finally! It took so much time.
So it depends on how old the kit is. That's how long
Yeah.
it will take. So if it's
or sometimes if it exposed to heat.
yes,
If
if it's a
it's-
10-year-old kit, you'll have to wait around 4 months to. No, just kidding.
Just kidding. So you can see now it's separating. Yeah, it's moving, right? Okay,
Yes.
so I'll leave it at that for now. But first, let's make sure our part is sitting in the right place. And then we'll use this guy, Mark Setter Neo. So Mark Setter Neo, Mark Setter's, yep, this Mark Setter is it's something that
It adds like adhesive property
something
to
like
the
that.
decals.
So it helps. your
Because
decal
remember,
to
guys,
bind
without this, you're just basically attaching a piece of decal to the plastic and hope that it doesn't fall off. Somehow it's something like that. It's not. You can't really assure that it won't fall off, or it falls off by like touching it, or.
Yeah.
But this one adds adhesive properties, and it's almost like a glue.
together. Yeah. So apply on the surface that you want to apply the decal, like the right amount, not so much.
I don't think they can see.
Ah,
Yeah.
sorry. So I applied. Don't roll on me. Here, you can see just the right amounts. And close it up.
It may look like that the Mark Setter is like white in color, but it's actually when it dries up, it's transparent.
Yep.
So it doesn't affect the decals in any way.
So
in terms of the
now
colors.
let's grab the decal and leave a little bit of water on top of it, because if you take it out dry, you won't be able to take out this like move it to the surface easily. So just leave some water on it and then slide it in like that.
Wow, amazing.
Move there. As you can see, we have a lot of liquid there, so I'll try to get rid of some, just a little bit of
This
it.
is a.
Cotton buds. Zoom. Yeah, zoom in a bit. You can see part is very small.
You can use any Q-tip actually.
Q-tip.
This is especially for the hobby. But yeah, if you have
pointed one, and then
but
we
if
have
you
it
have any
here.
Q-tips at home, or you can buy from us as well.
And then
Buy from
just
us.
move it. Like position it the way you
That's
want.
the thing that the people miss. They think that once you apply the decals on the surface, that's it.
That's it.
No.
Nope.
As long as it's still wet, you can still move it around and make sure that it's in place properly. Which is very different to the dry transfer, where it's when the dry transfer, you have to like put it in place,
Yeah.
and then once it's stuck in there, it's there. You can't really like move it around.
And then now we need to get rid of the water. First, I have to get.
John is saying water slide decals work best on gloss coated or smooth plastic to avoid silvering. We agree,
So what you do?
but I don't know what silvering is.
Silvering is.
Johnny, explain that.
Yeah. So silvering is the clear fill around the decals. So that's this.
The
clear
clear
fill,
paper, I guess.
You want to get rid of that as well. The same way as the one we did on this. We got rid of the.
So silvering, what happens is that the clear paper actually gets like a color?
It reflects on the light.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I get
So
it.
as you can see here, it reflects. Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense. So if you're coated it with matte, there's a big chance that
It will reflect.
it will reflect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'll do, I have to remove the water, right? So I have to roll it to the surface slowly, very slowly. Oh, yeah, kind of moved now. But you can always adjust it. And then slow, just roll it. Don't dab it, because you might grab the decals again.
Like the moment you pull it up, oh, where's the decal? And it's already on your Q-tip.
So just roll
don't
it.
dab it. Don't dab it.
Don't
Okay?
dab it. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Don't dab, guys.
Don't dab.
Okay? Just roll.
Just roll. That's how we roll. Just roll, and that's your decal. Now we want to make sure that this is placed, like stays there as long as it can, with the mark softer. It's,
So the softer, the mark setter adds adhesive properties to it to help the decal stick to the part. The softer actually softens the decal, so it adapts to the surface. It contours to the surface.
if you have curved surface,
Yeah,
that
especially
helps
if you
as
have curved or round surfaces, it will contour to that surface. So there's less resistance. So there's less likely that there's a chance that it will get removed.
So now just grab some small
As you
amount
can see,
of it.
it's transparent liquid.
Transparent and
Even the setter, it may appear white, but once it dries up, it's completely transparent. So yeah, won't affect your decals whatsoever.
so now that's that. If you applied so much of softer, you can always remove it with the
Q-tip.
Q-tip. So apply a bit more, and then let it dry a bit for a few seconds.
So
at least.
this too actually helps a lot
Mhm.
in putting in decals.
And now we have a lot of liquid there, as you can see. I'll just remove it with.
And especially if you're planning to you're making sure that your decal stays in there, like as long as possible.
Mhm.
And of course, once you put on all your decals and it's dry, seal it with your top coat.
There you go.
Comes in 3 different variants: matte, semi-gloss, and gloss. Top coat,
Yeah, so there it is.
each sold separately.
There's still a chance that this will be removed or peeled off because it's just hanging there.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean that's why you need to protect your
Yeah.
your model,
With the
especially if
top
you
coats.
already built it. Like if your children grabs a hold of it and then scratch it, it'll still be removed. That's why it's not supposed to be touched. It's supposed to be for display. And yeah, you have to be very careful with it.
Okay, now we're done with that, and then let's apply another one. And some surface, say for example, on this area, you guys can see it. Just slide it in. I didn't apply mark setter this time, and as you guys can see, because it's a small piece, not
Yeah.
because of that as well.
Remember, the softer it contours the decal on the surface. If it's a really small decal, there's really nothing to like adapt onto, so it'll just stick in there. So setter should be enough.
So that's, well, you have to apply it to the right place. So, and then mark softer. Let's apply mark softer on this one again. Just a tiny bit of it.
Right now, Mickey is just kind of freestyling because the water slide decals that we're using is not really meant for the GM. But most of the kits, especially if you're using a water slide decal sheet on a particular kit that it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be where it's supposed to be put in or applied to. There's usually on the manual itself, there's a category there where it will guide you where to put the actual markings. Of course, you can be creative and like do your own thing.
There are custom decals.
Yeah, there are also custom decals actually. You can actually there are like printers who prints decals, so you can actually print your own custom decals. But yeah, if you wanna like follow through like how it's supposed to look like, you can check back on your manual, and there should be a page there dedicated for decals.
So there you go. You guys can see the difference now with decals and without. It adds some like life on it,
Yeah.
right?
The other side, this is like a typical
Plain,
GM,
yeah.
plain GM. Then you go to the other side, it's like Michael Jackson.
Detail.
Michael Jackson of GMs.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it gives it a little bit more pop, a little bit more attitude.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's our decal application.
Yay!
You guys want to see them again? Let's put them back on the screen.
Ali's saying that you have to be careful with the softer fluid because it can potentially tear the decal if you get super messy. Yeah, but you just have to be very careful.
Yeah, so you just roll the Q-tip on the surface without
slowly.
applying
Pressure. You don't apply pressure. You let the tool do its own trick.
Yep.
And Johnny is saying it adds so much detail with the simple application of decals. Yeah, there is a big difference between a kit that has no decals and with decals.
Yes, you can see them.
A lot of
That's the
difference.
dry transfer. Yep. Unlike the other side, it's so plain, like a tube or something. But here, looks like a tube.
Yeah.
But here, it has decals. And then here,
But it's just funny though. Like you don't have to tell me it's a bazooka.
Yeah,
Because
it looks
I can
bazooka.
tell it's a bazooka. It's gonna kill me. But yeah,
and then here.
don't mind us.
So yeah, that's it for today, I guess.
Yeah. Just like some parting words, I guess. What are the things that they need to like remember? Seamline removal.
For seamline removal, always only use cement.
Mm-hmm.
These two types of cements. Don't use super glue because super glue does not melt plastic. It only like
It adds another layer, I
it
guess, that you
adds
can
another
sand
layer.
off.
It makes it
but-
even thicker actually.
Yeah, even thicker. So yeah.
And cement melts them, so that's how you clean up seam line. And of course, your sandpapers or sanding sponge, they're very important to clean
Progressive
up those.
sanding is very important.
Yeah.
So start with something gritty
Mhm.
and then move on to finer and finer grits. So remember, the higher the number, the finer it is.
Mhm.
And for the decal application,
Decals, sticker will stick to it
Mhm.
directly to the plastic. The dry transfer, you'll be needing tape. But if you guys can hold it in place, yeah, that's good as well. But
But
for
we
me,
still recommend tape. You saw
taping
how
it.
hard it was.
yeah, taping it.
Water
And then
slide.
for water slide decals. Yeah.
If you can get a hold of these will really help a lot. But if not, of course, water slide decals, you use water.
Water, then clear coat. That's it. Yeah.
Guys, the workshop will be uploaded on our YouTube account, so please subscribe. Watch it on our YouTube account and subscribe, okay? One more thing. New website coming up. Probably in a week or two, we'll give you more updates and more details on it as we get nearer to the final date. And then there's a new competition that will be ongoing.
New competition.
Yeah.
If you guys know the old
1980
80
Gunpla,
kits,
it
yeah.
involves that, but it's not just your regular Gunpla building competition.
We
It's so
don't-
much more than that.
Yeah.
Announcement will be this Sunday. So yeah, I've laid it out there. No one's gonna stop it anymore. This Sunday we're gonna announce what the competition is about, the rules, the overview.
Everything, yes.
So everything. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us for like 2 hours.
I hope you guys learned anything. At least.
At least I hope you learned something.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you guys out.
You can also visit us here at the
Yeah, visit us here at the
Exactly.
store. Yeah,
Sunrise building.
We have a building station. We can like sit down and then like
we can
teach you
literally
how.
teach you how.
We'll teach you how, but we'd rather not build it for you.
Yep.
We'd rather teach you how to do it, and you have the skills to build it your own.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye, and always remember, think outside the kit. Bye.